Mark Zuckerberg, the social network story. In a small coffee shop on a quiet street, you see people leaning over glowing screens. A mother scrolls through pictures from her child's birthday. A graduate student checks messages from classmates across the ocean. A man in his 40s reads the latest headlines while sipping a warm latte. Different lives, yet all of them are tied together by the same blue and white platform that began inside a college dorm. That simple idea to connect the world has become part of the daily rhythm of modern life. When Mark Zuckerberg typed early lines of code at Harvard, he could not have known that one day billions of people would tap the same app every morning. At first, it was a tool for sharing with friends on the same campus. Soon it spread to neighboring schools, then to cities, then across continents. Today, it is difficult to imagine daily habits without the quick tap that opens a window to friends, family, colleagues, and strangers alike. But behind the familiar screen, there is a story of ambition, pressure, and consequence. This is not only a tale about technology, it is a record of choices, how far someone will go to move an idea forward, and what it might cost along the way. This video explores both triumph and tension, so you can learn English while reflecting on a journey that has shaped how we talk, meet, and build communities. Welcome to the Learn English Listening Channel. My name is Lydia, and together we will uncover language, motivation, and real stories that help you grow. I will guide you through simple phrases and clear ideas so that learning feels natural even as we study a complex life. Before we dive in, let me ask a simple question. Is the sun rising or setting where you are watching today? Share your answer in the comments. Tell us your city and your time of day because your voice matters here. And your perspective adds light to this global conversation. In his early 20s, Mark Zuckerberg faced pressures that most people never imagine. Building a company at such a young age meant sleepless nights, endless lines of code, and decisions that carried weight far beyond the campus gates. He was no longer just a college student experimenting with an idea. He was suddenly a leader expected to guide a growing team and defend a product that millions were starting to rely on. The weight of responsibility can feel crushing. Friends who once shared late-night pizzas became business partners demanding results. Lawsuits challenged his vision, questioning whether Facebook was even his idea. Investors asked for proof that the company could survive. Every headline added pressure. Every success came with a shadow of doubt. For someone in his 20s, the glare of attention felt both thrilling and terrifying. People in their late 20s and 30s know this feeling in their own way. Maybe it is the pressure of a career that does not feel stable, or the struggle of paying bills while trying to keep dreams alive. Maybe it is the silent comparison on social media, where everyone else seems to be moving faster, earning more, or finding love sooner. Even if your face is not on the cover of a magazine, the inner questions sound the same. Am I enough? Am I moving too slowly? Am I falling behind? Life in this age group often demands resilience. You must learn to carry responsibilities without letting them crush your spirit. Mark's story, though extraordinary in scale, mirrors the private battles of many ordinary people. The fight to prove yourself, to balance ambition with peace of mind, is something we all face. So let me ask you, do you sometimes feel like life is moving faster than you can catch up? Share your thoughts below. Remember, you are not alone in this feeling. Your honesty may help someone else who is carrying the same invisible weight today. Every great story has a turning point, and for Mark Zuckerberg, it was the realization that Facebook was not only about connecting friends on a campus. The hidden key was a vision larger than himself, to connect the world. That phrase, connect the world, is simple English, yet it carries a depth of meaning. To connect the world is not just about technology. It is about making bridges where walls once stood, about giving people a sense of belonging in a crowded, sometimes lonely age. But vision alone cannot protect a company. Soon, the question of trust arrived. Users began to ask if their data was safe, if their voices were being protected. This is where the phrase privacy matters entered the center of the conversation. In plain English, privacy matters means your personal life is important and deserves respect. For a global network, those two words became a test of character. Could Facebook continue to grow while protecting the very people who gave it life? The hidden key is not only about technology, it is about resilience. Zuckerberg often repeated another simple phrase: keep building. To keep building is to move forward, and even when obstacles stand in the way. It is a reminder that progress comes step by step, not in sudden leaps. For English learners, this phrase can also inspire your own growth. Keep building your vocabulary, your courage, and your future. Curiosity grew stronger as success and controversy walked side by side. How can one platform promise freedom of connection while being held responsible for problems it never predicted? This tension became the heart of the story. The dream to connect the world, the demand that privacy matters, and the determination to keep building despite the storms. These three phrases are not only company slogans, they are lessons that can shape how we live, learn, and lead. The turning point arrived when Facebook's growth collided with a scandal that shook the entire world. The Cambridge Analytica case revealed that personal data from millions of users had been harvested without clear permission. Suddenly, the same company that promised to connect the world was accused of betraying trust. Headlines filled with anger. Politicians demanded answers. Ordinary people questioned whether their private conversations were truly safe. For Mark Zuckerberg, this was no longer about writing code or attracting new users. It was about standing in front of Congress, facing tough questions broadcast live to millions. Cameras captured every pause, every nervous sip of water. The world saw not just a billionaire in a suit, but a young man carrying the weight of a digital empire. Success had placed him under a spotlight, but controversy turned that light into fire. The climax of his journey revealed a paradox. The same vision that brought people together was now accused of tearing society apart. To connect the world was still a noble dream, but it required confronting questions of responsibility, ethics, and power. Viewers around the globe watched closely, wondering whether Facebook would collapse under the storm or rise to a new level of accountability. And this is where the story connects to you. Success in life often comes with unexpected challenges. A career, a relationship, or a personal project may reach a high point, only to face sudden criticism or failure. The way you respond defines who you become. Will you hide, or will you face the questions directly? So let me ask you, if tomorrow gave you a fresh start, what would you do differently? Share your answer with courage. Your reflection may inspire someone else who is also standing at the edge of a difficult decision. After the storm of scandal and public trials, a different kind of work began: healing. Imagine Facebook as a vast garden. In this garden, millions of flowers bloom, friendships renewed, families reunited, businesses launched with a single post. But alongside the flowers, weeds also grow. Misinformation, breaches of privacy, the noise of too many voices at once. A gardener cannot ignore the weeds, yet must not abandon the flowers. The task is balance, protecting what is good while removing what threatens the growth. For Mark Zuckerberg, this stage of the journey meant learning humility. The phrase "privacy matters" could no longer be just a statement. It had to be a guiding principle. Teams inside the company were asked to rebuild systems, create stronger walls, and place greater value on the safety of each user. For someone who built his career on moving fast and breaking things, the reframe was clear. Speed is not the only measure of progress. Trust is. The same lesson applies to our lives. Each of us carries a personal garden. There are habits that bloom like roses: kindness, discipline, creativity. Yet there are also weeds, distractions, doubt, unhealthy comparisons. Healing begins when we choose to keep building the habits that give us strength, while carefully pulling away what steals our energy. Growth is not always loud or celebrated. Sometimes it looks like quiet evenings spent journaling, turning off your phone to rest, or choosing honesty when it feels easier to stay silent. Small steps can nurture deep roots, and deep roots are what allow us to stand strong when storms come. So the reframe is this: success is not only about how many people you reach or how much you achieve. It is about the quality of the connections you create and the integrity with which you sustain them. That is how growth becomes lasting, both for a company and for a person. From a Harvard dorm room to the halls of Congress, Mark Zuckerberg's journey shows both the power and the price of ambition. His story is not only about technology. It is about the choices each of us faces when success collides with responsibility. The dream to connect the world transformed daily life for billions. Yet the lesson that privacy matters continues to remind us that growth without trust cannot last. Through it all, the call to keep building still echoes, not as blind expansion, but as steady progress rooted in accountability. You too stand in front of your own platform, even if it is not a digital empire. Maybe it is your career, your family, or the community that looks to you for guidance. The same questions remain. Will you chase speed, or will you honor trust? Will you avoid responsibility, or embrace it as part of true growth? This is the crossroad moment. At this very instant, you stand between comfort and growth. Comfort offers rest, but little change. Growth asks for courage, discipline, and honesty. Which path will you take? The answer is not in headlines or courtrooms. It is in the quiet choices you make each day. If this video gave you something meaningful, share it with someone who needs encouragement today. And subscribe to keep walking with us on this journey of English and self-growth. Together, we will continue to learn, reflect, and keep building lives of purpose